Coming up on 5 Minute News. US sending $1.85 billion aid package to Ukraine. Netanyahu forms a new Israeli government. And US fentanyl seizure enough to kill every American. It's Thursday, December 22. I'm Anthony Davis. The Biden administration announced on Wednesday that it will provide $1.85 billion in military aid to Ukraine, rolling out funding for a Patriot missile battery as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Washington for his first known trip out of his country since Russia invaded in February. The White House announcement came just hours before Zelensky landed at Joint Base Andrews, just outside the capital. The package includes $1 billion in weapons and equipment from Pentagon stocks, including the Patriot battery for the first time, and $850 million in funding through the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. Part of the USAI will be used to fund a satellite communications system, which likely will include the crucial SpaceX Starlink satellite network system owned by Elon Musk. Zelensky and other Ukrainian officials have pressed Western leaders to provide more advanced weapons, including the Patriots, to help their country in its war with Russia. The Patriot would be the most advanced surface-to-air missile system the West has provided to Ukraine to help repel Russian aerial attacks. Also included in the package are two other key items. The Pentagon will send an undisclosed number of Joint Direct Attack Munitions Kits, or JDAMs, to Ukraine. The US also will fund satellite communications terminals and services to shore up a potential vulnerability for Ukraine after Musk said his company could no longer afford to provide the services for free. The decision to send the Patriot battery comes despite threats from Russia's foreign ministry that the delivery of the advanced surface-to-air missile system would be considered a provocative step and that the Patriot and any crews accompanying it would be a legitimate target for Moscow's military. Designated Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced late on Wednesday that he has successfully formed a new coalition, setting the stage for him to return to power as head of the most right-wing Israeli government ever. Netanyahu made the announcement in a phone call to President Isaac Herzog moments before a midnight deadline. His Likud party released a brief video clip of the smiling Netanyahu and a recording of the conversation. The move came after weeks of surprisingly difficult negotiations with his partners, who still need to finalize their power-sharing deals with Netanyahu's Likud party. Nonetheless, Netanyahu said he intends to complete the process as soon as possible next week. A date for its swearing in wasn't immediately announced. Even if he is successful, Netanyahu faces a difficult task ahead. He will preside over a coalition dominated by far-right and ultra-Orthodox partners, pushing for dramatic changes that could alienate large swathes of the Israeli public, raise the risk of conflict with the Palestinians, and put Israel on a collision course with some of its closest supporters, including the United States and the Jewish American community. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration said it has seized enough fentanyl in 2022 to kill every person in America. In a statement, the DEA said it had seized over 50 million fentanyl-laced fake prescription pills and more than 10,000 pounds of fentanyl powder this year, seizures that in total represent more than 379 million deadly doses. Fentanyl is an opioid with a strength from 1.5 to 50 times stronger than heroin. It can impair a user's ability to breathe. According to the DEA, fentanyl is the most deadly drug threat currently facing the U.S. 2 milligrams of the opioid, enough to fit on a pencil tip, is considered a potentially deadly dose. The announcement followed an alert last month that warned the US public of a sharp increase in the lethality of fentanyl-laced fake prescription pills. According to the DEA alert, Laboratory testing found that 6 out of 10 fentanyl-laced fake prescription pills contained a potentially lethal dose of the drug, an increase from 4 out of 10 last year when the DEA issued a public safety alert, warning Americans of a drastic rise in fake prescription pills containing fentanyl and being sold across the country. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.